Me, 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 me.
Me, 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 me.
No, that was wrong.
No?
No.
Why?
Just welcome back to Soul of a Gamer.
Soul of a Gamer.
I don't remember our stuff. Do we do stuff?
Well, I'm Stephen McGee.
I'm Scott Nell.
This is Soul of a Gamer podcast.
Every week we play a game and we tell you about our playthroughs and if the game sucks or not.
Pretty much. That's the gist of the show.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we do.
Thank you for everybody who has been giving us any likes or comments or any views that always are
And
very
fuck
helpful.
you if you haven't.
Yeah.
So take that.
Just take the extra time. Just give us a comment. Just one comment.
Yeah.
Just please. Just,
Well, even
you're
just
listening.
a like or a 5-star review with no information, I guess, is fine too. I think they make you put information, but
Yeah.
you could do whatever you want. Just give us something.
It'd be very helpful.
Yeah.
We'd love you forever.
Last week we played. What the hell did we play last
We
week?
played Slender.
No,
last week.
Maneater.
Maneater.
We played
Sorry.
Maneater. And I was
Sorry,
like,
I
that was
was-
this week.
That was this week.
Last week we played Maneater and we had a lot of fun. Actually, that was probably our favorite game that we played
Oh, yeah.
so far,
By
besides
far.
maybe Pokemon Red.
And I love that I got to introduce you to that one.
Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. But this week we are doing Slender the Arrival.
Yes, which is the sequel to Slender the 8 Pages.
Yeah, and yeah, it's I would barely call it a sequel, honestly.
No, actually, it's a really good sequel.
I know that the little girl was Kate or something, and all that bullshit
Yeah,
that
Kate was the girl from the first
that
Slender.
they're just making that up afterwards. So
Maybe, but it works.
yeah, it works, but it's made up.
I love it.
Because they're like, it's a little girl too, is what they saw, and I'm like, why the hell is she driving a car? Because there's definitely a car behind you when you spawn. Yeah, I read that and I was like, no, they're just making this shit up.
Pretty much.
Maybe a teenager
Pretty
Kate.
much.
Yeah. If you like us, like we said, rate, review, do all that jazz. We really appreciate anything you guys have to say to us. You know, suggest games. We're still struggling every week to pick games for ourselves. So please get some stuff out there.
Yes. And we did, for this this game in particular, because it is horror and it's easy to get reactions and stuff, we did post a bunch of videos of our playthroughs.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his entire playthrough on. I've got half of mine on there. I'm waiting to get some more comments to see if I post the rest.
The playthroughs were fun, but we'll go into it. We'll get into it when we talk about the game.
So one thing about Slender that is always really interesting, a lot of people...
Well, hold on. Shouldn't we just tell them what Slender is first?
Sure.
I guess.
Let's go
So
with that.
in the original Slender, you're like a person in a forest somehow.
Kate.
Somehow you, well, maybe or maybe not Kate, and we'll explain who Kate is here in a second. But somehow there's a chain link fence behind you. You must have jumped it because your car is behind that fence, and you're in the forest. So that's already very confusing. I don't like it. And then you go around the forest and you find 8 pages and try to avoid Slender Man, and it's really hard because he's popping up all over the place. He's not walking, he's just teleporting.
He doesn't actually start coming until you touch the first page.
Yeah.
And then every page after the first page you get, it gets increasingly more difficult. He spawns closer to you, he spawns more often.
Yeah. And then after you beat the first one, I think you just die. I'm pretty sure that's the end of
I
that.
think so.
That's why I'm like, this Kate bullshit is bullshit.
Well, she becomes a proxy.
Oh, maybe.
Just like Charlie became a
Yeah.
proxy. He captured her and then enclosed in her and she became a proxy.
Yeah.
So they still can revert back to themselves, but they don't have any control of when they turn back into a proxy or not.
Yeah. But, so Slender the Arrival starts out almost the exact same way. You're in a car, and you're stopped by a fallen tree.
Yep.
And you don't think, let's leave.
Well, it's because you're on your way to your friend Kate's house because her mom died recently and she's selling her house and she asked you for help.
Oh, okay. So then later in the first level, I experienced Slender Man outside of a window, and I didn't go, okay, time to go back to the car. Let's go to the car. Let's leave. Yeah. Call the cops. Oh, the phone lines are dead. That's suspicious. Why don't I go deeper into the forest to figure this shit out?
Well, she explores through the house first. and
Okay.
Trying
She
to find Kate.
Figured out the phone lines are dead.
She figures out the phone lines dead. Power's not working.
There's a creepy guy who's telling her not to tell us about him.
Yes.
So there's a lot of stuff that are red flags that would immediately send me back to my car.
There's notes from stationery taken from the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
There's all those drawings on the wall up to the stairs.
Yep.
There's the drawings all in the bedroom.
Yeah,
which
she's
is
just a terrible Eiffel Tower.
yeah, I mean,
Awful. Terrible. She's not even in the right country.
No.
So
Not even
it's
close.
Not very smart. Kate,
She did really bad at drawing Shia LaBeouf, too.
so you get to the house and Kate's not there, but nobody's there.
Nope, there's a window broken in Kate's room.
Yeah, and you assume that somebody jumped out of it, but there's a lot of glass on the inside. So I was like, why is there glass on the inside and on
There's
the outside?
also a perfect circle of glass on the outside.
On the outside, yeah.
Perfect circle.
And you're just like, why is there glass like this? It was crazy. Like, they did not do a good job when they made that game of putting like very fine details in. It was just very like,
Yeah,
just throw some
it
glass
was-
on the ground, they'll get it.
It was a very independent game, very cheaply made.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I
Yeah.
mean, it got the job done for what
Yeah.
it was trying to do.
Still, my favorite thing about it is in one of the later levels you go through, there's a fucking cave that says, like, you owe me $20 or whatever. It's the joke of the game because when it first came out, it cost $20 and everyone's like, this game is not worth $20.
Yeah. I mean, right now you can get this game. I think even on Xbox is like $5.
Yeah, we paid $2 for Steam. So
Yeah.
we did a good deal there because I would not have paid full price for this game.
I want to get into the origin of Slender a little bit. Slender Man actually started out as a creepypasta contest.
Yeah.
There was a creepypasta contest to create the best mythological being or entity or creature or whatever. And the guy came up with Slender Man, and he posed a bunch of pictures that he photoshopped of like the 1600s and 1800s of Slender Man, like in backgrounds of like villages and watching children play on swing sets and all this other stuff. And he ended up winning that contest.
I can't believe he beat the guy who made Rabies the gay hippopotamus. I just don't understand how Rabies did not win that contest.
Well, that's because they're real and they're scary.
Okay, but Rabies was like a socialite who would go to parties and say, you all got some punch. And I can't believe that he did not win over Slenderman.
I don't know if you're making this character up.
I am,
Or-
but
okay.
already it sounds better than Slenderman.
I was like, I'm wondering if you actually did a lot of research and found out there was some guy who put in
Rabies the gay hippopotamus. I'm just saying.
I want to. Someone make that story.
Yeah,
Someone
Rabies.
make that a really like dangerous, scary, and we'll
No,
make games
dangerous.
like-
No, he's a socialite. He goes to parties and he just asks where the punch is. That's what his job is.
That's all he does?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's the party favor guy. He makes sure the party's good.
All right. Interesting.
Much better than Slenderman. Well, already. It took me 2 seconds to make that story, and Slenderman sucks.
No,
compared to it.
Slenderman story is actually. I love Slenderman story. I think it's really cool, and I think they really deep dive into the lore if you read every single note in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they go deep into the lore with the notes and everything. It's just the game was so poor around it. That's the problem. In my playthroughs, it's like every other time I see him, I'm like, I'm gonna beat you to death with this flashlight, and I can't. Every time I'm like, well, I can't swing this flashlight at anyone.
It's one of the first games where you didn't have a chance to fight back.
No, and it's ridiculous because I definitely could have beat Kate in the mines. She was like
you
skinny,
could've. And Charlie, honestly.
and yeah, he's got nothing. Although if you play the last level, he goes up, like you walk up to him and he pushes you like 20 feet back. I'm like, Jesus, Charlie, you have that weird strength from Slender Man. This is strange.
Yeah, all the proxies get several different powers of Slenderman.
Oh, gotcha. So super strength, super
They get
speed,
strength, sometimes they get some speed, they get heightened senses, sometimes
teleportation, boners lasting over 3 hours.
Damn. Without any bad side effects.
Yes, without any bad side effects.
Yeah,
Blood flow
that's
perfect, blood pressure perfect. Man, Slenderman's really giving a lot of good stuff on the side of bad stuff. You only got to trade your sanity and your mind for it, so...
You know what Slenderman's favorite drink is?
What?
It's Mountain Dew.
Oh, it's not. No. I mean, it would prove how much of a piece of shit. You're not going to drink that. Stop, Steven. You're going to kill yourself. You know how much shit is in that Mountain Dew you're drinking? You know what kind of shit everybody drinks that and dies?
It's great.
Ugh, it's disgusting.
I love this.
But yeah, Slenderman, I don't know. He wasn't even a good bad guy in the game. That was the biggest dumb part, I think. He played such a small role in that game.
Yeah, really, like, because the first entire game was all Slender.
Yeah, which I would have been fine with having other things in there, but still make Slenderman the final
Because honestly,
bad
like,
guy.
when you first go into the forest as Lauren, you are going against Slender, finding the 8 pages just in the original game.
Kind of an homage to the original game.
Yes, and then the second part is you go down to the mines, and you have to turn on the 6 generators to get the elevator to work. And if you do it fast enough, you don't see Slender.
No. I saw him in mine, but literally once.
Yeah.
1 second of him, and then Kate was being a bitch behind me.
Yeah.
Constantly
Which,
screaming.
I mean,
and I'm like, Jesus, Kate, shut the
it's
fuck up.
crazy how easy it is to get around Kate. And the
Yeah.
only thing that's like worrisome is just this game is it's good at getting you scared and getting you nervous and doing all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
So
'cause
if
it's
that's
jumpy.
what you want, if you want those jump scares, you want those reactions, you want that content creating kind of material, this is perfect for it.
Yeah, yeah. It was fun being a little scared every time you turn around, something could be there. That was pretty interesting. Just the game itself, like I think the execution of being scared was fine, but the execution of the actual gameplay
Yeah.
really left me lacking for anything. Turning on the generators was boring. I know in hardcore mode, because once you beat it on regular mode, you can unlock hardcore mode, and you have to find gasoline for the generators.
Oh.
So that's
okay.
much harder.
Yeah.
That would be
and you're in there way longer.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So and you can only get hit by Kate 3 times and then you die. So, yeah, so things like that, adding those things in, but they should have just done that for the regular. Honestly, that's not that much harder, and it makes more sense because later on in a subsequent level, you end up finding gasoline to start a generator anyway.
Yeah.
So I feel like they really cut out on that. They could have done more. And that's the only difference I could find in hardcore, by the way.
Oh.
That
okay.
they added gas, and I think Slenderman pops up more in the 8
Probably.
pages, but it's not really that different.
Oh, okay.
So
Same game and everything.
yeah, pretty much. I think you can stare at Slenderman longer in the easy mode, whereas in hardcore, if you stare at him for a short time this time, you die. But yeah, it's really strange.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But yeah, Slenderman not being like a main antagonist really. Besides the first 2 levels. The first 2 levels, he's on the hills. He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, which that was scary because I
That
had never
was.
noticed that in any of my playthroughs before, or not my playthroughs, but any playthroughs I've watched before.
Yeah.
That was just really creepy. Like
Yeah,
I
just
did
watching you
not
on the
know that.
hills. And a little creeper just watching people undress and stuff. You know, that's just what Slenderman does. And then the second level, he's just the only one who's chasing you, which is pretty cool. He doesn't move at all, but he teleports, kind of. But
It's
then after
still
that,
creepy.
I don't think I saw him. I think in the second to last level. So the levels in this are weird too.
Yeah.
You know, they have those 9 things. Each one of the levels is literally after the mine, you walk from the mine to the teddy bear or the mine to the building, and that's the level. You don't even touch any of that. You just walk to the VHS tape, and that's the level.
Exactly. So if you go to the teddy bear, you get Charlie's story of how he became a proxy.
Yeah, which was a fun one, actually. I was really happy when
Yeah.
I was playing that because I'm like, this is so lovely. This is a beach. You're just picking up toys. This is like house cleaning. We're going to do this. We're
You
good.
just knew something bad was going to
No,
happen.
no,
though.
it was great until you got a little too far and the tentacles were all over you.
And if you play it loud enough too, you hear his parents the entire time
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to each other. Like at some point after I think you find like the second or third toy, you start hearing, "Where's Charlie? Where's Charlie? Charlie!"
Yeah, and it's crazy that they're just screaming that. I'm like, are they even trying to look for me?
No, seriously, and you go farther and farther off.
I'm like, I can hear them really close. How far are they away?
Well, that's one of the things too. Slender can imitate voices of people you know.
Yeah.
So I think you were going towards the voices of your mother in a way.
Yeah, and
going
then
towards all
you
of
have
the
an
toys.
epic battle with Slenderman, which I
And-
thought would be epic.
Yeah, you don't even see him, honestly. You just see his tentacles wrap around you.
It would have been amazing if at the end, because in my videos, you know, Slenderman is Shia LaBeouf, because that's the song. That he is the song.
Yes.
It's grade A. You're walking through the forest late at night. You see a shadowy figure ahead of you.
Shia LaBeouf.
Exactly. But at the end of the song, it's but you can do jujitsu. Epic battle with Shia LaBeouf, and that's where I thought the game was going. You could do jujitsu as Lauren, and you were gonna fight Shia LaBeouf / Slenderman, and then that was gonna be. I mean, you might have died, but at least you fought.
Yeah, I mean, I do definitely prefer games where you get to fight back. 'Cause
Yeah.
you don't feel as powerless. I
Just-
don't feel as scared.
I was
honestly.
okay with not fighting the entire game if they would have just put one thing at the end of the game where you fought back, where you're like, actually, I'm black belt in 7 different forms of jujitsu. Let's do this, bitch.
Oh, even just fighting Kate. At the
Oh
end.
yeah, Kate was such a bitch. God, she's such a bitch. She is just such a bitch. That was the biggest thing at the end of the game. I'm like, I knew it. I knew Kate was the fucking bitch traitor. She asks you to help her move, and then you're there, and she's gonna kill you. And you're like, wow, well, Kate, I came to help you fucking move, so why don't you fuck off?
Honestly, the entire thing started with the Matheson family.
Oh, yeah. The weird notes that you find written in old-timey English, and you're just like, what the fuck are they doing?
So, if you don't, after you do the teddy bear, you go to the next building where we get to the VHS tapes.
Yeah. You're in 1982, apparently, and you've got VHS tapes that are fucking horrifying, horrible.
So, the first VHS tape is, I guess it doesn't matter which one you choose first.
You play as Rapist CR.
He's not a rapist.
Well... Some of those notes were pretty misleading.
He's just in love with Kate, and Kate doesn't love him back.
No, what it is he's a rapist and a stalker, I think. Because those notes were pretty revealing about some of the things he's doing, so...
Well, that's nothing he did.
Well, a little bit. It sounded weird, especially when he was like, I have a doctor's appointment, and then I was like, because you're fucking crazy? Which kind of doctor? Is it a medical doctor or a brain doctor?
If we want to go into the story, I can go a little bit.
Yeah. Go into the story.
All right. So the story of it is in 1806, the Matheson family, which is Frida Matheson, was the oldest, and Fresca is her sister.
Oh, and she's refreshing.
You find all this stuff in CR's tape, where you actually go onto the Matheson farm.
The disgusting farm.
Yes. So on the Matheson farm, you see a bunch of things. Slender was actually an old folklore story from England. And what ended up happening is when Frida moved all of her family to the U.S., she ended up keeping this book of tall tales from her grandma. And one of the tall tales was of Slender Man. Well, she got obsessed with the story and she started looking for Slender. But as the story of Slender goes, if you look into Slender and you believe in Slender, he will do everything he can to find you and kill you.
I guess it's a medical thing I read. It's actually a thing where what you see you might actually believe even if nothing's there. That was the whole point in the first 2 levels of the game. You kept seeing this creature, but he probably didn't exist.
Yeah.
It just makes you go crazy because you see something that maybe doesn't exist exactly.
Yeah.
Because the first time you saw him is after you saw the drawing on a wall.
Yes.
Right? Remember, you could plainly see what he kind of looked like, and then your mind created it outside the windows, and then on the hills, and then chasing you through the forest as you're collecting those pages. So I think people thought that's what that was too.
Yeah, it was more of a driving you crazy kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so
especially in that creepy fucking house, you're like, okay, well now there's got to be some kind of murder serial rapist monster out there with tentacles.
So the Frida's family, she ended up having 2 kids and 5 grandchildren, and she kept on telling her grandkids about Slender Man, and then 2 of her grandkids actually got abducted by Slender Man.
And then they were like, your grandpappy is actually Slender Man.
And then one of the grandchildren was actually like, and my brother and sister are missing, and I kind of wish I was gone too. Like, this sucks. Like, I'm so tired of my dad trying to pray away Slender Man and my grandma being so obsessed with him, and my family's just so madly depressed, and all this stuff happens. And then Frida decides that she's going to burn down a couple of the buildings with all of them in it.
Good idea. I would do the same.
Someone survived.
Oh, great. God, that person.
So now we're 100 years later, and we get Charles Matheson.
Yeah. Who's an egomaniac, named his son Charlie Jr. What a dick.
Yes. So Charles Matheson and his wife Diane, they're playing on the beach when Charlie gets abducted and becomes a proxy of Slender. So he passed down the story of Slender more. His kid got taken. His wife left him shortly after that.
Oh, what a bitch wife.
He was looking for his son for 9 years. After 9 years, he couldn't take it anymore. He kept on seeing Charlie. He kept on hearing Charlie. He kept on seeing Slender. Yeah, because when he's not in proxy form, he does sound and look exactly like Charlie, and which is why in some of his notes you're like, I see him, I hear him, I can swear it's him, but it's not him.
And I'm like, you're being creepy. Stop visualizing your son naked.
So he burns down his house with
that.
himself inside of it.
Yep, good idea.
But before he actually burned down the house, CR, as a teenager, so him and Kate and Lauren used to be friends when they were young.
Oh yeah, I remember the note where CR was like, "Remember when we used to go to the forest and play witch hunter
So,
or ghost
yes,
hunter?"
they would-
And I'm like, "No, you were fucking in the forest. Shut the fuck up about your ghost
They
hunter
would go ghost
bullshit."
hunting with a
No,
flashlight.
no. Code for fucking. They
Yes,
would go fuck in
probably,
the forest
probably.
with a flashlight.
But Lauren always got mad at them, didn't want to join them,
Yeah,
so
because
Lauren was
Lauren's
never
smart.
part of it.
Because
Yes,
Lauren is
smart.
intelligent, except then she didn't go back to her fucking car.
So then, CR and Kate encounter him for the first time. Then they get obsessed with ghost hunting and adventures. Then he finds out about Charlie going missing and starts hounding Charles all the time. Like, let me help you find your son. Let me help you find your son. Let's do this. I want to help you find your son. Well, then Charles burns down his house with him and it dies.
And
then
CR didn't say, maybe I shouldn't help find the son anymore. It seems like he doesn't want my help.
So CR hadn't talked to Kate for 3 years after they got attacked by Slender. Because Kate wanted nothing to do with her. He confessed his love to her, which is that really creepy note saying, like, I have all these feelings for you, but I know you don't feel it back.
And then
I just want to save you. I just want to protect you. I want to keep you safe. Keep adventuring with me. Yeah.
Every single one. CR is a creep.
So then that's the first note you find in the house where it's like, how long has it been? It's been about 3 years, right? So he gets back in touch with her. And then they look into the adventures together. They get attacked again. They keep going in. Then he goes to the hospital. They start really getting attacked by Slender, start going crazy. He keeps on going to the hospital, the mental facilities, and he's trying to get Kate to go to the mental hospital with him and stuff because he's like, there's something wrong. And his doctor tells him, one of the things that might help with trauma, these are happening because of a shared trauma, and you're hallucinating because of this shared trauma. Go back to the site, and you see that nothing's wrong.
No real doctor would tell them to do that. Not a single one.
So
this was not a real doctor
he
they went
gets
to.
Kate to do this.
Listen, I went and visited my fortune teller, and she said to go back to the site, okay? So that's what we're going to do.
And what happened then was CR actually fell down while they were investigating in the woods and climbing up the mountain. He fell down a slope.
Nice.
Then he said a bunch of things crushed him. Then he was drowning. Then his eyes went out of existence. His heart, or his chest caved in, and his heart, like, stopped beating. And then he said he woke up 3 days later in some tall grass and went back to her house, and she was just staring at her TV screen. He couldn't get her attention. And we're to believe now that during that time of the 3 days was her getting lost in the first game and finding the 8 pages.
Interesting.
So then he makes a plan where he's going to burn down the forest with them in it.
Yeah, great idea. Just take down the whole... Listen, Slender Man is the forest. I get it. Burn it all down.
So
fuck that forest.
He left that the note on the fridge of all the items.
Yeah, the flashlight, the
batteries,
batteries.
kerosene, the batteries.
And then he's like, make sure you bring your cameras because this is going to be fucking epic.
So he says he'll be there in an hour, bring all those stuff, and then we're going to go and end this. Well, before he gets there is when Slender Man comes in and you playing that level as her.
Yeah.
And you have to close all the windows and doors and then you go back into your room.
Because, he's too tall to get in the door anyway. Why even fucking close it?
Exactly.
He can't fit through that fucking window.
But he can be all tentacly.
I guess.
He
can't open the window with his fucking tentacles?
So she dives out the window. He chases her. That's when he catches her, and that's the scream that you hear as Lauren.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you hear the scream, Lauren goes out, and you start playing the game as her through all of those experiences. You have to fight Kate as her first time being a proxy.
Fight. Run away
from Kate and shine a flashlight in her eyes.
You're kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
You have a fucking flashlight. She has her hands. She didn't even do that much damage to you. You could have fucked her.
And when you get out of the mines, you see everything's on fire after you watch the tapes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's because CR had just killed himself right at that moment.
I know. I was so pissed because right before that, I was like, what do you think's in this barrel, guys? Do you think it's fucking oil? I should pour this on myself and go back out there. This would be a great experience for me. And then I kept going through and I was like, no, he did it! He took my idea! I was so mad.
That's awesome.
So pissed off.
So yeah, that's basically the timeline and story of the game.
And then you go to that old house, and that little guy is kind of just watching you, and you're like, "What's in the box?" I don't know if you noticed, he's kind of fucking he's right in front of the stairs, and his hand's on a box, and I'm like, "Can I open your box?" "What's in the box, young man?" And then you go upstairs, and Kate apparently somehow kills you. I don't. It doesn't explain exactly how she does it. I assume she had a weapon.
She didn't kill you.
She did.
No.
No, you're dead.
So
Super dead.
They left it really open. So yeah, you find CR's body as Lauren at the end.
It burned to a crisp.
Burned to a crisp.
How you
Everything's
wanted to
burning. All of a sudden, all the lights start going off. It gets darker and darker, and then Charlie comes in running after you.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense actually, because there are no lights. It's all fucking fire.
Yeah.
And he's like, let me hold on, don't move.
I gotta make it dark all of a sudden, all weirdly.
I gotta get this bottle of water. All right, I gotta go get a bucket. This is bullshit. This is way hotter than I thought it was.
So then, you wake up in the basement of Charlie's old house.
Yeah, the one that was burned down near your house.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured that was that house, and I'm like, I remember a lot more cracks in the wall when I was in here before.
So yeah, you wake up there. Charlie's guarding the stairs. You have to find a couple of notes. You find the very first email between CR and Kate, and you find the last letter that Charles wrote before
in
he
his
killed
diary.
himself. Yeah,
because he's a little bitch.
And
Keeps
then
a fucking diary.
Charlie finally moves out of the way. You go upstairs. You see your friend.
You could actually get upstairs before that. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
If you just run at Charlie like I kept doing.
Okay. Eventually he'll let you go.
No. It just pushes you upstairs.
Oh, interesting.
Because he pushes you that 20 feet, and if you just run straight at him, it pushes you upstairs. I'm like, oh, this is sweet. I should leave now. And then the game doesn't let you because it's fucking broken as shit. So
then, yeah, you find Kate, and it actually looks like Kate this time.
Yeah.
She's crying in a corner.
Oh, I actually didn't see her when I did mine. I could not find her. She just
She's
ran out
crying
me.
in a corner.
Oh, okay. She just somehow killed me without me
and
actually
then
seeing
if
her.
you get close enough, she actually turns back into her proxy and attacks you. And then you're being drug away, but it doesn't imply that they killed you, or they're going to make you a proxy,
or sexually assault you. I think that's more likely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then the camera's dying at the end, and you're like, no, my camera. Bring it back. It has all my memories.
All my memories. The one thing I will say, though, because you were even saying, like, I can't fight back, and she's making a bunch of stupid decisions, like, why would you go into the forest after hearing that? Why would you do that? The one thing I think of is, I wonder if they actually planned it, because Slender's whole thing is that he draws you in and he drives you crazy. Is that that's actually, like, all of his thing.
Maybe.
You playing the game, because you in your head, when you're doing this, you're like, I shouldn't be doing this, but I have to do this. Like,
yeah, I can't not, because there's no mechanic that says I can go backwards.
Even in your video, when you first are walking up towards the mines, and you're like, I wonder where I should go. Is that where I'm going to have to go? And then you take 2 more steps, and then you hear the music, you're like, I guess that means I'm going to the mines!
Yep. The worst fucking awful place ever. Why? Who would go in there? Yeah. I would just be like, you know what, I'm going to risk it with the bears. The bears are going to be friendlier than Slender Man is.
I honestly would have just left the forest and gone back out, got in my car, and
I don't even know how we got there, though. Because you wake up, like, with your back to a hill, and you're like, how the fuck did I get here?
That's true, because the first time...
Yeah,
that was confusing to me, when you find all the pages, and then you get attacked by Slender.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I found all the pages! I won!
I would have fought back. I would have been like, let's do this, motherfucker.
I just want to win.
Yes, I have a fucking flashlight. I will fuck you with this flashlight.
Yes.
I kept wanting to do that. All game, I was like, I have a flashlight. I'm going to beat you up.
Yeah, as far as horror games go that are you can't fight back, you just gotta run and figure it out.
I mean, I get it.
I think there's got
to be games
definitely
like that.
One of the weaker ones. I think Outlast is still probably the best one for you can't fight back
because you have to run.
Yes,
like,
but that one makes sense because everyone and everything is way stronger than you,
trying to kill you,
way crazier than you.
Like even in the Kate one in the mine, she has to hit you 3 times. So you can like literally the first time I saw her, I just ran right at her because I was like, you know what, fuck this bitch. And I knew it was Kate. I said it was either Charlie or Kate, but I couldn't really tell because I saw that decrepit thing in the first.
That was Charlie
in the house, and and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I ran at it. So.
And then Charlie chases you in the farmhouse when you're playing a CR.
Yeah.
And then.
But there were multiple legs. I thought.
Yes, because it was Walter and Patricia as well.
Who's Walter and Patricia?
The 2 grandchildren of Frida Matheson, the first people that were taken by Slender.
Shouldn't they be dead?
that's the only kids
Whatever
that would
year,
make
we don't
sense.
even know what year this game is in. Nobody has a fucking cell phone. Also, I'm confused why there was a radio tower all the way up in the mountains like that. I was like, is this for the park? Is this like a park thing? Why are
It's
there no
probably for
Why
the
are there no
park.
employees? Where are all the fucking park rangers?
Well, the mine shut down.
yeah, it's a mine, but what about the park rangers? It's a park.
I don't know.
It's literally
they
says
were killed
it's
by Slender. And no one
No,
went to
it's
the park.
bullshit.
I don't know.
Nobody's called the cops.
They all died.
Even if they're all dead, they don't have families. Like, they haven't been home in
The
25
park rangers
days.
was the Jeep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there were a lot of cars, and I was like, where are all the people at?
They're all the people that have been killed
And
by
then all
Slender.
those generators there. I was like, who put all these generators here?
They were there from when the mine was there.
No, they were not, because they were building houses, not fucking bullshit mine.
Oh yeah, the generators on.
Yeah, the line of generators. I'm like, who builds generators like
Well,
this?
and that was weird too, because then like the first one didn't even really lead to anything. It just
No.
led to Slender on the top of the hill.
Yeah, and
you're
they led to a piece of paper you had to fucking read.
yeah, which
Yeah.
was just about Charlie's
Oh,
house.
somebody
burning
left
down.
a spool out here. This must be like the play spool. The kids will
Yeah,
all
that
come
was-
to
that
this
was
spool.
weird.
Yeah, I could not understand the generators.
That whole walk, to like the opening credits, like
Yeah.
the first part of the house was pretty good. It was creepy. It
Yeah.
built a lot of suspense. You saw Slender a couple times. If you looked out the back window, if you stayed in there long enough, you could see Slender on the mountaintop. There was a bunch of things like that that was really cool. But then that walk from the house to the entrance to the park
Yeah.
before you get to the opening credits, I was like, why? What is this here for?
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I didn't like how that whole first part was a prologue.
Yeah.
Fucking hated that. I was like, what? I was in no real danger. This is bullshit.
I know, I felt the same way. I was like, I've been sitting here being terrified in suspense of Slender, like coming off that mountain every time he disappeared and just running after me and me having to run, or like
Yeah.
seeing Charlie in the burned house.
Fucking asshole. Charlie was a dick.
And then all of a sudden you just like walk up to this page and it's like, Slender the Arrival, and you're like,
Yeah.
this is the intro. This
I will
is
say
bullshit.
the scariest level's got to be the farm level, though. I don't know
That
if you
was-
tried doing this, but if you walk into the farm while it's still dark, or the silo when it's still dark, you start hearing growling.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, nope, back it up,
You hear
back it up.
growling, you hear footsteps, you hear all these other things.
Yeah, and then if like the cellar in my video, I'm looking at the cellar, and when you're looking into it, it looks amazing. It looks lit. It looks great. And I'm like, this is going to be great. This is going to be a great cellar. And then once you get in there, suddenly it gets darker and the lights are
Lights
flickering.
flickering.
And I'm like, they're not flickering on the outside, bitches.
And then every time you're about to get to an entranceway, a kid runs
yeah,
by.
and you're like, hey, buddy, come back. Kill me. End this already. And then when I left it, I died because Charlie ran at me from the bushes.
Oh.
I was like, Jesus Christ, Charlie. Come on, dude.
I didn't know Charlie could
He could kill you.
kill you at the... Because I know, like,
So when
once
you-
you pick up his toys, he comes after you.
Yeah, so if you grab the gas can in the cellar, you have to bring it back to the silo to activate the fucking generator.
Yeah.
And it gets a little darker out. And
Yeah.
you leave the cellar, there's a chance he'll just fucking kill you because as soon as I walked into the wheat, he jumped at me and I'm like, oh my God!
That's actually scary.
I knew what was going to happen when I was in the farmhouse because I didn't know what to do and I spent 10 minutes in there and I couldn't figure it out. So I looked it up and then I picked up the toys and I'm like, I know he's going to come through this fucking door. Come on, bitch. And then he did and then I ran at him and I died.
Oh, okay.
So then I went around
yeah.
and I was like, ha, this idiot's going to have to follow game mechanics and go all the way around and not jump up like a dummy. And
Which it's funny because if you actually get the pieces and then walk up to the podium at the top of the
Yeah.
church, he'll bust through that door and then he'll look around. He'll like look at you and then like and like have to go all the way
like,
around. And
you
you can
know
be
my
out
one-
of the door and in the next
Yep.
building by the time he gets up to the top of the
Yep.
podium.
And I'm like, you know my one weakness, a podium.
Damn you!
Damn you! So yeah, that's what I did. I just picked up all the toys, ran around really fast, and waited for him to bust to the door. I'm like, "Hey, bitch, try to get me up here, asshole!" And he ran around. I'm like, "Now's my chance!" I think that was the point in putting that in the game, but it's
Pretty
fucking
much.
dumb. That was
Yeah.
so dumb. I'm like, he's a crazy little shit. I'm a grown ass man. Let me fucking tear his goddamn head off.
Oh yeah, because you RCR when
Yeah,
you're in the
because
farmhouse.
you don't even know he's super strong yet. He just busts through a fucking door.
True.
And it's an old
True.
door.
It is
It's
an old
super
door.
old. I was like,
From the
why?
1800s.
Can we
so-
try to rip his head off? Can we please try to do it at least before we just start running away from him?
No.
God, he's made of skin and bone. He's nothing. So then you run and you get into his weird hubble of a attic, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how he got there, too, because it never explains where that farm
doesn't.
is, and it seems like it's very far from any forest.
It's near that forest, actually.
No, well, it can't be, because when you look in the distance, your eyes register, it's at least 6 miles away. Your eyes register up to 6 miles and maybe even further for some people.
Well,
So
they
he
might
walked.
not have showed a great
Okay, but I'm
representation of
just saying that if it was based on what you could see, the forest was nowhere near
Because
there.
I think even one of the kids' notes talked about. Well, they talked about Slender always being around and watching them play,
Yeah.
and I think they talked. One of the notes talked about one of them going into a forest or something. But
my least favorite part of that, by the way, is in the first note you grab in that place. It says like, "I know you hate the smell of petrol," and kept talking about going in the cellar, and I didn't really pay attention to that. So I'm like, where the fuck is the gas canister? For like the first 20 minutes of that video, I had no idea what to do.
I caught on that right away. Actually.
Yeah, the farm was very, very confusing.
Yeah, especially like you get that key to the gate and you don't know where the gate is at first. and
Well,
stuff.
so I found the gate before I found the key.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, okay, do I have any... What did I bring on this journey to this haunted fucking farm? Well, I didn't bring a weapon. I didn't bring salt to make a circle around me. I didn't bring, like, iron to hit a ghost. I didn't bring a fucking flashlight just to see things. I came in the evening time. I was so mad. I'm like, what kind of preparation did I take?
That is the one thing that I think I hate about most horror things. Like, let's go investigate this at night. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get caught investigating.
But I don't
this
know if it
thing.
was at night. It just kind of turned night really
Yeah.
fast. I think that was just...
Which, I mean, I wondered if that was kind of a Blair Witch thing,
Yeah.
where the time manipulation,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it's daytime, but it looks like it's
That's
3 in the
kind of what I
morning.
thought too, but I was also like, just why? Why didn't I prepare at all for
Because,
this?
I mean, like, even when you're first walking up to the house as Lauren at the very first part of the game, you're walking and all of a sudden it's just nice, it's bright out, you're looking at the leaves, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a pretty nice walk, actually. And then as soon as you start getting close to the house, immediately shifts to darkness.
You're just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna die now. Let's go.
But then, like you even mentioned in your video, you look up and the sky's bright
yeah,
as
it's
blue.
because the game is poorly made. That's why that happened.
I almost wonder if it is kind of a time dilation thing. like,
Maybe.
because, like, at least in the Blair Witch, they could never see the sky because of the tree canopies.
Yeah.
So they couldn't tell whether or not
If
it
we
was
were
actually
heading
a blue
towards the
sky
North
or
Star
not.
or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I just would never have went into a forest.
Oh,
Lauren,
no, no,
Lauren's
no,
a
no.
dummy. Lauren is a dumb person.
Yeah,
Because
I would have.
even if I didn't see a man outside the window, the phone lines are cut. That is a huge red flag. That's like, oh shit,
All
this
the
is
doors,
for real.
like the front door was open, the garage
Yeah,
door
it
was
was like-
open, most of the windows were open, the window in her room was broken. There was all these notes from a weird guy,
Yeah.
being really like weird in love with her
Creepy.
and creepy. Yeah, if I saw all those things, saw the mental hospital like notations and stuff like
Yeah.
that, I would have been like, all right, I'm gonna go to my car, call the cops,
We're gonna find another house,
and we're gonna have a search party to investigate.
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna get
forest.
like a couple people with guns. Let's do this. There were a bunch, and also I don't know if you noticed this. Kate's cleaning habits were shit.
Oh god,
They were awful. Every toilet was disgusting. Every single
Plates
one.
on the floor.
Oh, the fucking dinner in the sink. Also, the
that
sink.
full bowl of chili or whatever.
The sink was a circle, which was weird. It was a full fucking circle.
I wouldn't mind.
No, it's stupid, and it barely fit that one fucking giant pan in
that. I
there.
guess that's true. That was
So,
bad. part
oh
of it.
god, it was disgusting. And then like all the windows on all the buildings that you've ever visited were dirty. And I'm like, Kate, you are in charge of cleaning this shit. Get it done. And then when we went to the farmhouse, I looked into their toilet and I'm like, must hire Kate as their fucking cleaner. Yeah, I could not believe how dirty everything was in that game.
Yeah.
Everything. Charlie was disgusting too. He was
Oh, yeah.
disgusting.
Charlie's the worst.
We haven't explained what Charlie looks like, but he's literally, his stomach is like
It's like rib
this.
cages.
Like
honestly,
it's
it literally looks
what's
like
it
he's
called?
disintegrating.
No, well, it's called something when somebody
Decrepit?
doesn't. No, when someone doesn't eat as much. It starts with an E.
Emancipated?
I
Or
think
not
so.
Oh no, that's not right. That's when someone wants to leave their house. at
Yeah,
7, or 15.
no, I think it's either that or something that sounds like that. But it's like
don't
your
know.
body can't. If you were to eat something after being in that condition, you would literally instantly die.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because your body can't handle any intake of anything. It's been eating at itself for too long.
Yeah.
So he's that way, and we are afraid of him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
He's creepy.
He's fast, though.
He is
I'm
fast.
like, man, you're fast.
He's a lot faster than Kate.
Yeah, Kate's a slow bitch.
Yeah.
Kate and the mines was the stupidest thing because I'm like, I can hear you behind me, you bitch. And I never shine my flashlight on her except for the first part when I was fucking with her too
I
much.
always laughed when you were running away, and I'd hear the noises that she'd make when it would tell you that she's inside of you.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically when the noises happen, is when she was inside of you. So you could turn around and find her and shine the flashlight at her. And you would just be like, I don't know where she's at, but I bet she's... I'll just keep running, and then she'd catch up to you, and I was like, just turn around!
No! That's the first mistake. You don't do that. You fucking run.
Hey, my track coach told me every look over your shoulder in the middle of the race can cut off like 1 second out of your time.
Well, your guy's an idiot, okay? Just don't look at the evil behind you. I knew it was Kate, too. I was so mad. When Kate at the end, I was so pissed. I was like, you're fucking behind this whole thing, Kate. This whole bullshit. Kate, I came to help you move. I was so mad.
So on top of the 2 games that are made for Slender, there's also been 3 live-action movies.
Have there?
Yes, there was 2 older live-action movies.
I know there was a murder attempt because of Slender.
I was going to get to that.
I know that one.
And then there was the 2017, 2018 newer Slender, which all the live-action Slender movies, they're not worth the watch. Yeah, all 3 of them were made in America. They were all not great. The
Japanese should do it. They do a better job.
Honestly, the best thing I've ever seen for Slender is this YouTube series called Marble Hornets.
Marble Hornets?
Marble Hornets. That's exactly spelled the way it sounds. What it was these college kids made a film about Slenderman, but in the film they're making a film called Marble Hornets, and the director starts getting attacked by Slenderman.
It'd be amazing if they made that film and they were just like, what's that? Oh, it's not Slenderman because he's not real. I forgot. It's a raccoon. It's actually a raccoon.
It's actually really good and really creepy. It's really well done. It's full hand cam, so it's...
Oh...
It's bad shaky hand cam too, but it's realistic shaky hand cam. It's like, oh, I'm fucking terrified of this shit, and they make Slender look so well, and he's hidden in so many scenes. Is he wearing a suit? Yes.
It's so weird that he wears a suit.
And they did get someone who looked like he was like 7 feet tall to play the role, so like he's a huge dude.
Nice.
But yeah, no, that's definitely the greatest. The weirdest story is definitely the story of the 2. Or the 11-year-old or 15-year-olds?
I don't know. Fucking young girls.
2 teenage girls killed one of their friends.
No. They didn't. She didn't die. I don't think. I think she lived.
Or they attacked her.
It was an attempted murder. They cut open her stomach. She ran down the hill and somebody found her.
Didn't they stab her like 7 times?
Yeah, they stabbed her a bunch and they cut open her stomach. And I was like, Jesus. And they were like, we were trying to sacrifice to Slender Man. I'm like,
they're like, we believe we're proxies of Slender.
And I'm like, well, you believe you're stupid is what the problem is. I think that happened a lot longer than 2017. Maybe even earlier. Maybe
that one I think was like
2015, 2014, I think.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was a dumb thing. Kids are dumb. Kids are just stupid.
That was ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah. And now they're going to prison for the rest of their lives, which is well deserved. They're fucking crazy.
Yes. But yeah, no, there's a lot of people that actually still believe that Slender's real.
No, because they're dumb.
They're like, oh, but there's all these old-time photos of pictures of Slender. And it's like, yeah, he photoshopped it for a contest. He admitted it. Like, why aren't you getting this? The creator
and who cares?
Tells you he created it.
Literally, if it was real... Go find fucking proof. Stop being like, I gotta murder this girl.
Well, if you find proof, he finds you and kills you.
Well, you're thinking about it so much, you might as well. At least you die and you save me the trouble.
No, I bet they actually, like, if you were crazy enough to believe all these things, you actually would get to a point where you'd go so crazy. You might actually think that burning yourself down would be the best way to
solve an issue of stupidity in America. Burning someone down.
Jeez.
Let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we ready for ratings?
I think we're ready for ratings. Steven suggested a new dumb rating system, so we're going to hear him out on this.
All right, so this new segment is called Worth, or Not.
I don't know what worth meant until he told me, by the way. I know,
so those who aren't familiar, it's a lot of like MOBA players and just a lot of video game players in general.
Like really dumb people.
They decided, a lot of people, I've heard this, I first heard it when I started playing League of Legends, and I took it over to Smite, and a lot of people play it and say it in Smite too. But worth is you do something that's totally worth the effort. You stole the fire giant, you killed 2 people or whatever. Worth is when you go in and you tower dive something.
By the way, is WORF.
Yes.
Like not like worth, but it's worth.
You go in and you like tower dive or something, and you get the kill, but then you die, and you're like, oh, that was worth it because you got what you wanted, but you also had something bad happen to you, and then it's self-explanatory. It's just not worth it at all.
Sure.
Just
Sure.
shit. So that was my idea. You know, whether we say
yeah.
like this game, because we've always said like worth a buy, not worth a buy,
Yeah.
whatever. And this is kind of with that too. Like, is it worth the buy? Is it worth it for certain reasons?
Yeah.
It's gonna suck to play, but you have fun experiences with it, or is it not worth it at all?
Yeah. Go ahead. Give me your rating. I want to hear it.
I'd probably say it's worth.
Yeah.
Right now you can get it so cheap: $2 on Steam, $5 on Xbox.
Yeah.
You're not gonna. It's not breaking the bank or anything. You're gonna get probably about 2 hours of play out of it.
Honestly, I think it took me 4, but I'm really dumb, so it took me a lot longer.
So yeah, 2 to 4 hours, whatever, to get through it. Honestly, if you know everything in the game, it takes you about 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're just rushing through it.
I think it's a good game for lore. I think a lot of people really like the lore part of that game more than they actually like the gameplay, which is
finding
sad.
all the notes,
write a fucking book.
reading all the notes,
Yeah.
finding all the stories, getting really into the stories, getting really creeped out, watching Marble Hornets and stuff, like watching those things that just really like invest you into the world is a ton of fun, especially around this time of the year. But it's not a great game. You're not gonna. I mean, you can get a lot of replayability out of it because it's random every time. Your flashlight's in a different spot every time. Slender's in a different spot. The notes are in a different spot.
Yeah.
So I mean, it does have that. So I mean, I think it's worth it for that reason.
You know, I'm gonna go with the same worth because you can get it for $2 right now. Like, really, that's the only thing that makes it. Because if you paid full price for this game, I am so sorry. It's a fucking $20 game when it came out for 4 hours of gameplay when you suck at it.
Well, I'm guessing the people who paid full price for this probably also were doing it for YouTube channels and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
And they made a shit ton of money from getting millions of views.
Maybe, I don't know, but I don't. It's sad because they even they did all these updates to the game because the original ending was you jump off a fucking cliff or out a window or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, nope, you're trapped in a farmhouse or a house and you're dead.
Yeah,
you're dead, knocked out, or raped or something.
Been 10 different versions of the game.
Yeah.
Or 10 different updates.
Yeah, there's a lot of updates,
them
and they don't
stuff.
fix it at all. They did not do anything. I will recommend, we didn't talk about this, by the way, try the secret level. It's a lot of fun. You can look up my video on YouTube that we did and show you how to access the secret level. I don't have the actual gameplay in it because I couldn't get the gameplay because I already did it. But you should totally try that because it was interesting, a little creepy, but interesting. I will say worth if you're paying $2. $2 is a great price for this game. 2 hour gameplay, basically average. Not a lot of cool jump scares. It is a little scary, but it's not out of my mind. I couldn't get through it scary.
No.
So
it's really easy to, and honestly, it's one of those games that the more you see of Slender, the more like jump scares in the game that you have, the more times you run into Kate or Charlie, the least like it really like lowers the scare factor.
Yeah.
The more you're exposed to them, the less afraid you get to them, and you just get to a point where you're just like going through the game. You're like, oh, there's Slender. I gotta turn this way. Oh,
also,
okay.
I want to mention that we were in a kitchen at one point. We did not grab a single knife.
That's true.
Not a single knife. But I bet there was a knife block in that kitchen.
There might have been, but there might not have been because they were packing up everything. Most everything was out of the house.
Well, they kept the
house.
fucking giant spaghetti noodle stew in the fucking sink, so
eat.
they've got to have a knife somewhere.
You're
I'm gonna go
right.
There was a knife in the kitchen.
There's probably a knife.
We were very dumb in that game, but yeah, worth definitely $2. If you have to pay more, don't buy it. $5 is just not worth it.
Unless you really just want
for
the content or for the scares.
Yeah, if you want to support some shit company that I don't even know what else they make, just go for it.
I don't know either.
Yeah. Blue Isle Studios or something. Blue Isle.
I think it's Blue Isle.
Yeah,
Studio.
Blue Isle Parsec Studios, something stupid like that. All right, well, that was Slender the Arrival.
Yes.
What are we playing next week?
So next week we are playing Murdered Soul Suspect.
Oh yeah, we're doing 2 weeks of Scary. I don't know anything about this game either because I've never played it. So we're gonna see how this goes.
This was actually the second horror game I've ever beaten all the way through.
Oh, nice.
So if I played this one through, and I'll play it through it again because
Okay.
I really, it's a unique game and it's a weird game, but I enjoy it and I think you'll enjoy it too.
Yeah, I think we'll have a fun.
We'll definitely have some stuff to complain about with
Yeah.
it too. So it'll
Oh, I
be
bet.
fun.
All horror games I have stuff to complain about because they're boring.
yeah.
All right, well, that was the podcast. Remember, rate, review, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, whatever you medium you use to listen to your podcast. Just give us something. Give us some game suggestions.
Give us some love.
Give us hate. I guess if as long as it's 5 stars, it can be hate.
Yeah, like he said before, make fun of me for being bald.
Yeah.
Make fun of him for being an asshole.
Oh, check out the videos that we made on the game. See if you like them. They're a little funny, but they're a little bad too. So
His are funny.
do your best with them.
His are funny.
Do your best. They're not
They're
good,
great.
and they take a long time. So,
All right. Well, thank you guys. We love you.
yep. Soul of a Gamer signing out.
Bye.
Bye.